Have you ever built a drop-down menu in Excel, feeling organized and proud and ready to roll, only to have someone on your team say, "Hey, can we add one more option?" So that should be easy, right? Until you realize that you've hard-coded this list into 5 different places in your spreadsheet, and now you're chasing down cells like a scavenger hunt. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to prevent that situation from ever happening. The answer is dynamic drop-down menus. This can also be really helpful if you want to build a new drop-down menu that only shows the options that are available in this other table that you have. Dynamic drop-down menus update automatically when your list changes. No manual edits, no more broken data validation, no wasting time. User features like drop-down menus are part of the final step of my Excel Power-Up method, which is a step-by-step roadmap for building and upgrading spreadsheets. So if you're tired of Googling formulas and spending hours second-guessing which tool to use, I've got something that's going to make your life so much easier. It's the Excel Power-Up method cheat sheet. It is a visual, category-driven guide that walks you through the most powerful Excel features, no fluff. I'll link it below so you can grab your copy and start building spreadsheets that you actually want to use. Hi, I'm Rebecca, and I teach Excel users how to create spreadsheets they can be proud of. Welcome to Excel Power Up. This is a data entry form that I built in another video. I will link it in the cards if you're interested. This form accepts all of these inputs, and then when you log it, it puts the result on another sheet. So I'm going to use it to demonstrate how to create a dynamic drop-down menu with this idea category. So right now it's just a field. There's no drop-down menu. And people can put in whatever they want. But what if you wanted to control how or the responses that are available? That's how you create a drop-down menu. So real quick, for drop-down menus, you go to the data tab and the button is right here. It's called data validation. That's the key. And if you don't remember where it is, you can right click and search the menus data, and then there it is, validation. And the validation criteria, you will select list. So you want the source to be whatever options you want. So I'm putting in some random things and then click OK, and that's how you make your drop-down menu. But let's say, to make it dynamic, we want all of these options, but we want to be able to change them, remove or add things. And so we want the options list to be separate. So I always have a separate sheet, and you can call it options, you can call it admin, whatever you want. And then put your options in a list like this. Now, the next step is very important. We're going to create an Excel table. So we're going to go to Insert and then Table. You can also use the keyboard shortcut Control-T. And then check that my table does have headers. So I'm going to click OK. So now this is an Excel table, which means we can name it. And I always recommend naming. So go to the Table Design tab here. And I'm just going to call this Options. And then the name of this column is Idea Category. So this is really important to remember, options and Idea Category. And to show you what I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to come out here. This is not part of what you need to do. It's just for demonstration. I'm going to click equals and then type in the table names. That's options, and then put square brackets and then Idea Category. All right. So this is how we reference the data that is in this column. We use the table name and then square brackets, column name. So I'm actually going to copy this into my, that's cool, into my clipboard so that I'll have it for when we go back to the data validation window. So I'm going to go to this idea category, go back to the data validation window. So now instead of the actual list, I am going to use an Excel formula with a function called INDIRECT. And that creates dynamic references using text. So the data validation does not accept structured references, which is that table name, square brackets, column name, but you can kind of trick it using indirect. So we're going to open up those parentheses and then have a quote sign and then paste. So we're pasting the table name, column name, which is called a structured reference. And then we're going to have another quote and a close parentheses. Okay. and then click OK. Now the data validation list, or this list, comes directly from that table. So see, we have documentation, client experience, onboarding. So there it is. That's basically it. This is great. But what happens if the list changes? Well, let's just remove this first option, documentation. Okay, now you can see when I did that, this structured reference here also changed. So now let's see if that also changed in the data validation. And it did. See, no documentation. So it's extremely seamless. It just works automatically, which is so wonderful. So now we have a robust dynamic drop-down menu. Now let's supercharge this drop-down menu by combining this with another very powerful Excel function. So let's say that we have this list, but only some of them should be added to the idea category. Like we wanted to leave all of these here, but only some of them should show up on the idea form in that drop-down menu. Well, we can use another column, and I'm going to select it and add a checkbox, and only select some of them. These are the ones, let's say, that are approved, and I want to only see those in this drop-down menu. Well, that is super easy with the Excel function filter. So I'm going to go over here and type in filter, and the first argument is the array, which is the first column, this idea category, and then include is the condition. It's the criteria. Which ones do you want to include? So I'm going to select the approved column, and then I'm going to say equals true. Because with checkboxes, the checked cell is equal to true. And then close that. And you can see that we can only now see the ones that are checked. And it's super dynamic, so we can uncheck and check at will. So I have these three options. Now the way we get this into the drop-down menu is a little bit different because we're using the filter function. So instead of copying this formula, we're going to reference that cell exactly. So we're going back here to the data validation menu, and we're going to remove this whole thing and select this cell, E2, and you can see the sheet number or the sheet name. And so now it will pull the options from this cell, but we want it to pull from the entire list here, which is called a spilled range. So we're going to add a £, which tells Excel to pull the options from the entire spilled range. So click OK, and now you can see that the drop-down menu only includes those three options. So now let's test it out. Let's just approve more of these options, and then go here. And there you can see they all are. That's it. Dynamic drop-down menus in a snap. And if you want a clear roadmap for building smarter spreadsheets, check out the Excel Power Method cheat sheet linked below. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if you've ever created dynamic drop-down menus.